It's going to be very ugly. You know, so I don't want to see that. That's the biggest reason I don't want to see the crash, because I don't want to see American imperialism, but I don't want to see the ugliness of what a crash means. So I want to work on the change. That's what I'm working on. And then the third thing that's very important, and it even goes back to the first thing, is working with our allies. Once again, organizing, reaching out, and connecting the dots. Because everything can be connected when it comes to war. People, as I said earlier today, people tend to stay in their lanes. That's the way I see it. Civil rights, women's rights, climate change, labor, etc., etc. People organize in their lanes. But what we need is what I'm calling full spectrum peace and justice, where we move forward together. And what we have to do is make it common sense, or something known in common, that in order for us to get what we want, we have to move it forward together. It cannot happen piecemeal. It cannot happen a little bit at a time. It won't happen a little bit at a time, because they'll give us crumbs and they'll pit us against each other. That's what they'll do. And I guess the last thing I want to say about that is, it's interesting how people get together to put somebody in office, but as soon as they get there, we break up and then start going to them one at a time, begging for something. Can't do that anymore. They've got us brainwashed. We got to unbrainwash ourselves and not do that. We have to do it together. If we do it together, we can make it happen. But if we keep going one at a time, they're just going to laugh at us. You know? We don't have the money. It's either money or people. We have the people. We got to organize them. And then they'll do what we want them to do. Now, I just want to read one thing that I wrote to a person who wrote me, because you know, being an executive director, I get all these emails from people. Some of them really crazy. You know how some people don't like us, Veterans for Peace. But I usually write people, I don't always write people back, but I usually write people back, and I try to explain where we're coming from. I try to engage people. I don't write back angrily. Even if I get mad, I calm down, you know, write and then read it. So this person, whose name is Sean, he wrote us and said, "That's Obama, just air raiding villages and killing civilians. And it's funny how no anti-war leftists are denouncing him. It must be okay for your dear leader to kill civilians. Funny how that works." Well, actually, my dear leader is McPhearson. So, Obama's my president, but he's not my dear leader. So, I wrote Sean back. I said, "Dear Sean, thank you for your reaching out to Veterans for Peace. Veterans for Peace has a wide range of political thought. Some of our members are Obama supporters. Others see him as being no different than Bush on nearly all fronts. But none of our members support his policies in Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan. We work to bring the troops home every day, just as we did when Bush was president. As for me, personally, when my mother was 16 years old, 59 years ago, I'm sorry. As for me personally, when my mother was 16 years old, 59 years ago, she was told to sit at the back of the bus. She said no, so she was forced off. I have faced many moments of discrimination and name calling. Most oppressing are the constant attempts to make black people, meaning me, feel less than through images and stories, messaging that we have not contributed and do not contribute to the human family. Some still go so far as to say we are subhuman. So as a black man, I voted for Obama with some enthusiasm, but I voted with a heavy heart and with tears shed early in the year as I wrestled with the contradiction an Obama presidency would represent. No person can be president of the United States of America, or for that matter, nearly any nation, and not have blood on his or her hands. Those contradictions are alive before me now. I will not apologize for being happy that Obama is in office. My ancestors rejoice, and all of our nation should smile with a certain self-assurance as we have come a long way to fulfilling our creed. I have a responsibility to the millions who died in the Middle Passage from Africa to the shores of this land, and to those who suffered so much so that I can be who I am to support Obama where I can, meaning where I agree with him. Black people have a huge stake in seeing Obama succeed. His failure would help sustain the racist construct that black people cannot be successful. However, that self-interest is not an excuse to sit idly by and let him continue to send our country down the road of death dealing and imperialism. I have a responsibility to those same ancestors to stand up to the injustices President Obama is raining on the people across the globe, including here at home. Black people have not struggled and continue to struggle to throw off oppression so that we can become the oppressor of others. If nothing else, I will voice that truth. I do not know where you are coming from ideologically or your depth of understanding of the forces at work today, so it is difficult for me to fully address your concerns. However, I assure you, VFP stands on the front lines of resistance to Obama's wars, and will continue to do so no matter who is in office, no matter who is in office. And with all the different interests pulling at me, I will do so because I have no choice. Then I also sent him our resolution and my letter. So I just wanted to share that with you because I think it at least speaks to the challenges and the situation as Reverend Yearwood spoke to understanding the situation that we have before us. Because there is a lot going on and we need to understand what's happening and what we need to do. And it's interesting because the system is trying to put us in a quandary. That's what it's trying to do. It's trying to make it so that people will be quiet. It's trying to confuse us. But just know, we don't need to be confused. In fact, we're not confused. We know what's wrong. We can see what's wrong. We don't need anybody to explain to us what's wrong, you know? And we know that we have to continue to speak truth to power. And we have to seek justice. We're justice seekers and peacemakers. That's what we are. And as long as we remember that, then we'll go down the right path. And one of the things I love what Reverend Hager said is that we have to have joy. Anger is good to have to push you forward, but you have to move forward with joy. Because that's how you make change, is inviting. You have to hold your arms up and invite people to come with you. I'm not coming with you if you're mad. You might start getting mad at me, you know? And that's just not, and I'm going to say this, you know, it's good to challenge each other and struggle with each other, but don't question my integrity when I've been out on the street with you. If I've been standing with you in the streets, then we're brothers and sisters in the struggle. Then we don't have to agree on everything. That's okay that we don't agree. In fact, it's important we don't agree with everything, you know? We have to have different ideas. We have to have different reflections in order to move forward. That's how you move forward in a progressive way. But if I've been out there with you, have taken the chance of being arrested or shot at, and my picture's been taken with you, then I'm with you. And that's the thing that next time somebody starts tripping with you because you know you don't agree with them exactly, you say, hey man, have we been in the street together? Then I'm your brother. And let's just move forward together. So I guess I want to close with, let's move forward with joy. Let's be inviting as we're in the struggle. And in the end, we might not see it, but in the end, we will win.